When Steve and I first met, we went on a walk around Signal Hill in Newfoundland, a historic site, and I knew nothing about him, and in asking what he does, he said he was very interested in history. And my first thought was, boring, but I've quickly learned otherwise. History can in fact be quite interesting when you focus on the people.
And the rest is history. Well, historical nonfiction, I mean, first of all, the stories are true, and so when you go into the past, you can see the beginning, the middle, the end of a person's life. All the mysteries of their life have unraveled, so you can see exactly how their decisions have played out personally for them and over time and how they affected society. With my latest book, 1494, it began with a young woman's desire to choose her own husband and defy tradition and defy the king in order to do this, which of course resulted in a fantastic family feud with seething dark intrigue and political battles that spanned generations and ultimately resulted in the world being divided in half in order to keep the combatants away from each other. And this has spiraled down the centuries into the original beginning of the concept of modern international law and the freedom of the seas with the United Nations conventions. After writing the book, Forgotten Highways, with my wife, Nikki, and spending all those weeks on the trail and doing all that research, for sure, every time we look at something, we realize there's probably a story behind that trail, even if we don't know what it is. So many of the places around us in the Rockies, because there hasn't been that much development, a lot of it's remained unchanged for hundreds of years. And you can walk on a trail and go to a campsite, and the same campsite that you might be camping in now is the same one where people may have been camping there for 7,000 years, for all we know. A good campsite then, it was a good one now. And it's really neat to imagine what the stories would have been associated with different regions in the backcountry around here. It's hard to underestimate the contribution of my wife. She actually helps me discard a great number of bad ideas. I come up with 1,000 ideas and she says, no, I don't think anyone's going to be interested in that. That's too obscure, that's too odd, get rid of it. And she also reads everything that I write before I send it to my editor even, so she contributes a great deal.
Matt gathered them into a pile. He used a block of wood to smooth a winding ribbon down.
Well, my son Andrew, for several years now, he always jokes that I'm his second favorite author. I'm not the first favorite, but the first position always changes depending on what he's reading at any given moment. But I'm consistently number 2, so that's really exciting. I would definitely say that the Bow Valley is a great inspiration for almost everything, because it's such a fantastic place to be out in. I mean, I can go for hikes at the end of my road. I can go for a walk or a mountain bike ride whenever I feel like it. And often when I'm out doing that, I'm on the trails, that's when I'm thinking about things. My brain is free. It's not just congestion and noise and chaos. It's just a great deal of serenity in the natural surroundings around here. It's fantastic.
Steve often needs to organize his thoughts when he's working on a chapter, and he'll go on a bike ride or a walk in order to sort out his thoughts. And often as I see him ride down this trail, I think, oh yes, there he goes, riding into the 18th century.